Hey, this is Paul Little. Are you ever in for a treat? This year, for the Winnipeg Comedy Festival, I decided to talk to a couple local comics who are a part of the festival, and they've been a part of it before, but they're also 2/5 of the sketch comedy troupe HUNKS, Tim Gray and Matt Nightingale. HUNKS are doing just amazing work right now, performing in all sorts of sketch comedy festivals all across North America. And as stand-ups, Matt and Tim have been doing great for a number of years. And Tim, of course, is no stranger to ShowbizMonkeys.com. He's done some interviews for us in the past. If you're listening to this before the Winnipeg Comedy Fest is over, please go check out one of their shows. Otherwise, see them around the city whenever you can. They will also be touring with HUNKS later on this year around North America. Check them out. I hope you enjoy this. It's one of the longer, if not the longest, podcast we've done on our website, but I think it's a lot of fun. There's some cool insight into stand-up and sketch comedy, as well as quite a lot of silliness, because it's what happens when you get comedy friends in a room together.
Hi, I'm Matt Nightingale from HUNKS.
And I'm Tim Gray from HUNKS. You're listening to ShowbizMonkeys.com.
Around this town, I'm alright. Around this town, I'm alright. I mean, no consequence when you playing with the fire.
So, hey guys.
Hey.
I'm sitting here with Tim Gray and Matt Nightingale.
Hey everybody, I'm
Guilty.
Matt. Oh,
This is Matt's voice.
Yeah.
And I'm Paul Little.
Yeah, and I'm Tim Gray.
Yes.
Hey everyone.
Yep.
You guys are great stand-ups. You're also part of the sketch comedy troupe HUNKS.
Also guilty as charged.
We will be talking
charged.
about HUNKS, of course, later on, and we're going to be talking about the Winnipeg Comedy Festival because you guys are both in it doing stand-up.
It is afoot.
It is a foot.
Sorry, it's a fest.
No, are you sure?
I'll have my people get back to you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah,
We're going to put our best team on
Yes.
this, Paul. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We're going to find out.
Is it a foot?
Is it a foot
Or is it a festival?
fest? The Winnipeg Comedy Foot? Yeah, no, I don't know.
The 16th annual Winnipeg Comedy Foot.
Do you know how many comedy feats I've been involved with?
Did you guys hear? Did you guys hear about the comedy festivals they kept finding washing up on the shores of British Columbia?
I know, that was a really, really creepy story.
It was only left comedy festivals.
Did they ever find out who those fests belong to?
No idea. There was a boat of festivals that capsized.
Oh, jeez.
They still had socks and shoes on.
Oh, man.
So bizarre.
Very dark. Very dark. But some
Paul
good, they
Little.
brought in some good people, though.
Yeah.
I'm Matt
Top-notch headliners.
Yeah. I bought some new hats at Fest Locker.
Man, I suck at biology. Anatomy. Tim Gray's anatomy.
Has anyone ever made that?
AKA Jazz Fest.
Oh, yeah.
Full circle. Jazz foot. You mean.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is that a foot too?
That is a foot, yes.
Just in Winnipeg. The Winnipeg
Yeah.
one is definitely...
Yeah, the
Winnipeg.
TD Canada presents Jazz
Yeah.
Foot.
Jazz foot. Not to be confused with jazz hands. Which...
We're not going to
Yeah.
bring it. We shouldn't have brought it up, actually.
No.
I don't... You didn't see the note I left about don't bring up jazz hands
No,
during this interview.
didn't see it at all.
Oh.
You should have gestured to it. We would have
Don't bring... Oh, no.
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah.
Can't see.
Tim Gray just did jazz hands.
I'm Matt Nightingale.
I am Paul Little.
So,
Yeah.
do you have some questions, Paul?
Oh no, my name is actually Matt Nightingale. I have no responsibility on
You
this.
have, oh,
recording.
yeah. Sorry. I just tried to... I thought that would make it easier for me if I
Nice
could then
try.
just...
Yeah.
Nice try, Tim.
Sorry, Paul. Go ahead.
So anyways, I asked you guys here just to talk about the comedy festival. Tim, you're in some big shows.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about it?
Well, the one I'm most looking forward to is the
Yeah.
No, I know what shows you're in, but I'm going to let you talk about them.
Me, Paul Little? Sure, I did my research. So you're in the Winnipeg show.
Yes.
On Thursday.
That's at the West End Cultural Center.
It's a cool big space. I've never performed there.
Great space. Yeah, a lot of the comics wouldn't have performed there.
I'm looking forward to that.
Because it's usually music happening.
Have you ever done comedy there, Matt?
I have, yes. I did. Myself and Jordan Wellwood, ball coach Ben Walker, Mike Green, and Dan Goldberg, I think. We did a talent show, or it was like a variety show fundraiser. Which was super fun. Place was packed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a cool room. It holds a lot of people. They have an upper deck now, an upper balcony level, so they can really pack them in. You'd be surprised.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Guess we're playing to the balcony.
Yes, that's right.
It's a cool venue, and there's lots of shows happening there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Winnipeg show is one of those.
Down the Thursday night, yeah. Friday night, I'll be back at that venue again for Tales of Late Night.
Oh yes, that's right.
Bruce
You're on
Clark.
that.
That's right.
And any longtime Showbiz Monkeys fans would know that I'm a big late night comedy nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I've been talking about it for years.
Been going to it for years.
Yeah. We've gone to it.
Conan.
Tim and I. Yeah.
Oh, you guys did?
Yeah, we went to a taping of Conan. We saw
did.
Stephen Merchant. Cool.
Steve Merchant and Kumail Nanjiani was the stand-up.
Oh,
and your laugh, your laugh was on. Like you could definitely notice it.
Pick it out,
watching the episode.
That's right. I gotta find that clip.
Yeah, I got that clip. I'll get you that clip.
Yeah, let's get that clip.
I got that clip. Let's play that clip.
Can we get a clip
of Tim laughing in the background of Conan.
Paul, let's show that clip for the podcast.
But yeah, so I'm really excited for that show. It was fun last year.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Clark did it for the first time last year.
Yeah, Andy Kindler was
his co-host, and that was
off the rails,
hilarious. Yeah. And so this year there'll be other comics who have done the late night thing, and you, who host. You both were involved in a sort of late night talk show for years here in Winnipeg.
Yeah, the old Week Thus Far.
Yeah. And Matt and I were involved in last year's and this year's as well.
You wrote you wrote some of the
yeah. So we're both writing for this year's, and Tim's going to be making an appearance on the stage. So yeah, that's been interesting and fun, and like a different way of just involving ourselves in comedy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. From
beyond like the performing aspect, more behind the scenes writing thing is interesting, neat, kind of fun.
Yeah. And then you're doing warm up set. At the Pantages.
That's right. We're both.
You both have
Pantaging, as they say.
Yeah. It's weird. I haven't worn pants in ages, so this is all new to me.
I just hope it's not jazz music introducing me.
The intro is
no.
Turn the cameras off.
Although that would make quite the story if I ran out naked.
American underwear wolf in Paris. Jazz music.
Are you American, Tim?
No, but I am Parisian. So
okay.
The pair. I get it.
I was using my poetic license.
Sorry.
Yeah. I
sorry. I misspoke. I have a pair of lesions.
Oh, are they doing okay?
No.
Oh.
No, they're not.
That's why he hasn't worn pants in ages.
That was you.
Well, I haven't worn pants in ages as well.
It's support, solidarity.
His
lesions.
Because I've been banned from the Legion for not wearing pants, and I protest by continuing to not wear pants. And that's how we became friends.
Yeah.
So we both saw each other not wearing pants.
For different political reasons,
and we were like, maybe.
So which galas are you two? Because they're different ones. They've got one local opener, I guess, for each of the galas doing a warm up set. So which ones are you guys on?
I'm doing the Hot Mess Gala on Saturday. That's the late one.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. I don't know if I have like hot messy material, but some stuff that's in that vein, and and whatever, right? So yeah, I do what I want.
Yeah.
As the bad boy of comedy, I have that license. You know,
for those that don't know, this past week we all found out that Tim Gray is the bad boy of comedy.
I feel like people knew it.
Yeah, that's true.
You just made it official.
You can tell by his fleece zip up and coffee in hand.
Yeah, with tiny marshmallows in the coffee.
Bad boy.
Where's that
coffee
coffee from?
Hot chocolate,
Where's that coffee from?
This is from 7-Eleven.
Oh yeah,
they're a sponsor of me. So shout outs to sorry, I'll just do my quick if you haven't been recently, check out 7-Eleven.
Oh, they bought that one, huh?
Yeah, they did.
Just for use on podcasts.
Yeah, I'm sorry that I publicly doubted you for that jingle.
Yeah, you did. You were very out there with it. But that's sometimes how the chips, they may fall, and where they fall, they may land. Right?
Yeah.
Was that the one that didn't get picked up?
Yeah, that was the runner-up though. Visit 7-Eleven. So yeah, the Hot Mess Gala. Some cool people on that. Kathleen McGee, who is just the best and has been super nice to us. She's on that gala, so looking forward to being backstage at the frickin' Pantages.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we did a Week Thus Far show there once for the Mood Disorders Association of Manitoba, and just like running around like uncontrollable children, like from dressing room to dressing room. They've got like 8 dressing rooms and flushing all the toilets.
I mean, it is as comedy people, it is a legendary. I mean, it's a legendary venue in general, but as comedy people, I mean,
got drunk with Judy Washalise there.
Okay, yeah, that's as we all know, the comedy legend of Winnipeg. No one outside of Winnipeg will know who you're talking about. Well, a few people in Ottawa. She was a member of parliament for a while.
She was, yeah. Former mayoral candidate.
Yeah.
I was kind of gunning for her, but
I was more meaning that theater itself. There's Charlie Chaplin played that theater back in the day. Groucho, but they met in Winnipeg at that theater.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because they were part of that all the Pantages theaters touring. in North America were all owned by the same.
Pantages theaters around Canada and the US.
And Winnipeg was usually the first stop on the tour.
Oh, wow.
One of the first ones built too, I think.
Yeah, and so the people that ran it, what's his name? I don't know.
Yeah, the family's name was Pantages.
Yeah, they would use Winnipeg as kind of like a testing ground. So you'd come to Winnipeg, and if you could kill it here, then you'd go on to the tour and stuff. And if you were terrible, then sent home.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
It was like the Apollo Theater for a Pantages circuit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So lots of fucking legend and lore in that place. And even just standing backstage for the little bit of time that we were there, it just felt so fucking cool. Like these old bricks, and it's like over 100 years old. So I can't wait to go and tell some poop jokes in it.
Yeah, that really is the gold of this career.
Yeah.
Sullying all these beautiful places with our dirty brains. Yeah, I'm going to be. Also
which show are you at?
I'll be at the Pantages doing the Good Neighbors Gala.
Oh yeah.
Up for that. That's the late night show on the Friday while the talk show's going on. So I won't be able to see the talk show happen, but
because you're performing at the Pantages.
Oh, God, my life. And then on Saturday I'll be doing the early show at Rumors with I forget which comics are on there.
Yeah, they're rotating a bunch through,
They rotate a bunch, and there's always a billion drop-in.
Oh yeah, because they're in town, and
so it's gonna be good. It's I love it at Rumors during the Comedy Fest. I mean, I love Rumors regardless, but during the Comedy Fest, like all these cool cats just drop in, like, oh yeah, I'm doing 10. I'm Mark Forward. I'm just gonna do 10.
Yeah,
is that okay? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right.
Like
that's
cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that.
And then you're on the Winnipeg.
I am not.
You're not.
Those are my only shows.
Oh,
yeah.
Well then.
I mean, not my only shows. Those are exciting shows to be on. But no Winnipeg this year.
No Winnipeg this year.
No Winnipeg.
It's not a.
I haven't done the Winnipeg show since I think 2003 2014 or 13 maybe.
So this will be a good return.
Yeah, that's always a fun show. I remember the first time I was in the Winnipeg Comedy Festival was in 2012 maybe, and it was on the Winnipeg show, and I was a little too green probably to be in the show. I did all right, but I remember Ryan Ash. It was early friendship with Ryan Ash, local comedian, and he was on the Winnipeg show as well. And I don't think we'd performed together that often outside of like open mic shows. And backstage, getting ready to go up, he was like getting himself so excited and like slapping himself backstage, and just he had like this intense warm up, and then he went out and he just destroyed it so hard. I will always remember that set, and then they gave him a set in the Best of the Fest because of like how hard he crushed that.
Oh wow, yeah.
Show, yeah. And then I went out there. I was like, I got a vest on. Yeah.
Well, 2012, you hadn't really found your stand-up voice yet at that point. That's come around the last 2 or 3 years.
Oh, yeah.
In a great way. I mean, you just recorded a comedy album last year that's coming out soon,
June.
I believe.
Yeah.
June, yeah. So watch out for that, everyone.
Yeah, I was a very different comedian, and I think I did all right. Like, I don't know, it's just stuff that I would never do now, and it was very much like, this is my idea of what a comedy thing is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I did like a song, this No Blues Blues song that I used to do with a harmonica.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, that was all right. I look forward to returning on Thursday, and hopefully also slapping myself.
Yeah, you know how to do it now. You know how to prep yourself for the Winnipeg show.
Come out, my collar's just torn.
Like, was there
from your eye?
Yeah.
What's up, idiots? Here comes some
ready
comedy.
to laugh.
I'm just shocked.
Collapse.
The crowd.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually curious. 'Cause, we know each other socially. I know you guys, but I don't know if I've ever talked with you guys about your starts in comedy. Like, I know Tim, you started. We talked a little bit about, because you started with improv and some sketch stuff.
Yeah.
But Matt, I don't even know if I know when you started comedy.
I started, my very first time on stage was Friday the 13th, November of 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 7.5 years.
Yeah. Ugh. God, I can't believe it's been.
I just
that
celebrated my 9th year of performing.
Oh yeah.
Ugh. Yeah. It was
Yeah, that's crazy.
Last week. 9 years since my first time like doing some sort of solo performance stuff. Yeah.
It's funny because like I'm 35 years old, and every time a birthday comes around, I don't really care about my age. Like the older I get, I don't really shudder or anything like that. But the more time that I count in my stand-up career, like hearing 7.5 years, that makes me go, oh God, I feel old.
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, because it's fucked up because there's so many ups and downs, and the progress in comedy is not linear at all.
No.
And so you could do we're going to meet people in the Winnipeg Comedy Festival who have been doing it for like 18 months, and they're like on galas and stuff. And that's, great. But then see them 9 years into their comedy career, and they could be doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, because I think people hit their stride and then they hit plateaus. I think that's a rule for everyone. It just depends on how fast you get. Like, some people will reach certain heights faster, and they will plateau at some point for a period of time. It's just where they plateau, right?
Yeah.
And there's at different stages in your comedy career, there are different goals. It's like those people who are, 18 months in or whatever, they're doing a gala, which is 7 minutes. And, their goal for the, first year and a half, you're trying to get like a good 5 to 7 minutes. That's it. And that's probably all you have at that point.
And if the right people see the right 7 minutes, then it gets you on to stuff.
Whereas people like 9 or 10 years into their comedy career, they're looking to put together like an hour or hopefully past that, and they're like looking at their next set, that kind of thing. Like they're looking at longer sets and more material, and it's a much different, ending point.
Yeah.
Than that first little bit.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, totally.
And if it's a lot of it in comedy, I've been thinking about this a lot lately, is just being ready for the opportunities when they present themselves, and knowing what opportunities you want to be prepared for.
Yeah.
Like a 45-minute set. Like, can you just, if you want to do headlining spots, then prepare for that opportunity for when one comes your way.
Yeah.
So that when you do it, you kill it, and you can do it again and again.
Yeah.
But
yeah, and it's all about identifying the tools that you need to sharpen for that, because you can't necessarily control, and I think we kind of talked about this at one point sometime in the past. You can't necessarily control when you'll get the opportunity, but you can control your ability to prepare. You can control honing those tools and preparing yourself, right?
Yeah.
So it's important to know what tools you need to focus on sharpening. I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Matt, have you done like a feature set at Rumors? A full headlining set?
No, I haven't.
Do you have that like hour ready?
I don't think so. Yeah, certainly not an hour. Generally, when people start headlining at Rumors, it'll be 45 minutes.
Okay.
With a guest spot doing 10 to 15, and then the host doing 20. So that sort of gets us through the night entirely.
Yeah.
So I just actually did my first 45 minutes this year.
Okay.
I did my first 30 minutes actually this year, and then a couple months later did my first 45, which was those were fun, but I mean, it's still not in a club atmosphere.
Yeah.
So I'm still kind of building toward that. But this has been a really busy year for HUNKS.
Yeah.
And so that's sort of been my main priority, is HUNKS
working on that.
and the people that I work with in HUNKS, because I have 4 people sort of relying on me to make myself available and to have my head in that game. And then I'm doing a one-man show in the Fringe this year as well, the Fringe Festival in Winnipeg. So just trying to write that together.
A 45-minute.
That's going to be a 45-minute
solo show.
That'll
be sweet.
It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited for it. It's called Faster, Stronger, Bleachman. It's a 45-minute comedy, motivational talk.
I encourage anyone listening, and we'll throw in the links to follow Lawrence Bleachman. Your character on Twitter and
Instagram. Yeah. So I'm excited for that, and so it's been a real busy year. And but once we get through this busy summer, I'm going to have that 45-minute one-man show, sort of like with a bow on it. I can sort of put that aside. That's something that I have that I can take somewhere, and I don't really need to focus on it after that. So then, after the summer, I'm going to try and focus up and see where I can get as far as like putting together a solid 55-minute stand-up set.
Yeah, man.
And really sort of focus back up on that.
Yeah.
But I'm it's really hard for me to multitask in my life generally. Yeah. So like with HUNKS and stand-up, and then the Lawrence Bleachman solo show has been just sort of like, holy crap, I'm getting better at keeping all the balls in the air.
Yeah.
But at some point, like one has to I got to put one on the shelf and just focus on 2 or something. Yeah. It's really tough.
So see ya, HUNKS. No.
No. I mean, that's the one ball that I can't sort of.
Yeah. No, I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And Tim, you I briefly mentioned before, you recorded an album that you'd been pushing towards for quite a while.
Yeah.
And how long did that end up? I was in the audience, so I should know this, but how long was that?
It was about 55 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
Or between 50 and 55 minutes, and then that'll be cut down to probably like a 45-minute album.
Okay, yeah.
And or maybe it's probably it'll be 45 minutes.
Was that the first time you had done a set that long?
Yeah, man, that was the first time. The longest I'd done before that was about 27 minutes.
Okay.
At a bar in Lactabani.
Yeah.
And it was a rough crowd, to say the least, and that was one of the harder shows I've done, but it was also it felt so good. Sometimes it feels good when it's not an easy crowd because you come off stage and you're like, yeah, I fucking earned that paycheck. Like,
and any laughs you do get during that night are really earned.
And I'm like sweating, and I'm just like, I gave them all that I have. And they didn't walk out. So that was the first time doing a full 45 minutes plus set, and it just, you couldn't have asked for a better turnout. I don't know if I don't think I could pull that set off in a setting, like in a comedy club setting.
It's a different beast.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. Yeah. So maybe that'll be my goal next year. But like, I don't really have any, I don't know. I don't have an opportunity to. One of my goals this year is to try to do more guest spots in a club setting. Because I can't just like walk up to Tyler, who's one of the best people we have in the comedy scene.
Yeah, Tyler's for anyone that doesn't know, is the owner of Rumors Comedy Club.
Yeah, Tyler Show's manager.
Yeah. And as great as he is, I can't walk up to Tyler and be like, "Hey, I'd like to."
Hey, Schultze.
Hey, Schultze. I'd like to do a headlining set. So pick a date.
Here's what I can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Make it work.
This business that you run or you have. Yeah.
Don't take your sunglasses off while you're talking to him.
Yeah, that's usually how clubs work, right?
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
So,
Matt, you of course are a frequent host there, so you've got a little bit of that inside track to get more spots there and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I definitely have that inside track, and I get that practice on a weekly basis in a club environment. So it's starting to become a little more comfortable for me. But when I first started there, that was just such a different time, and it was a little rough for me. Just stand-up comedy in general is just one big test of your confidence. That's all it is you are battling your confidence, and it's just you're building your confidence from day one until the day you die. And it was just such a leap because in Winnipeg you don't really get very many opportunities to do more than 15 minutes in a set. Never mind 45.
Right.
Like we pretty much have to leave town or book your own theater to be able to do 45 minutes in Winnipeg. So that was the first time that I'd done 20, and man, was I clawing and scraping just to reach that 20-minute mark. Ooh, some of the stuff I did to kill time.
Really?
Telling the audience how I wanted to fake my death and just not worked out stuff. Like I've gotten at least to the point where filling the time is no issue for me anymore. And sort of working on that. I don't know. It's the je ne sais quoi that you need in the club.
Well, club, I've spoken to comics, lots of different comics over the years, and definitely like the club style comedy is a vastly different thing. And people, on the outside might not realize it because they go see comedy, they watch it on TV, they go see comedy, and it all feels like the same thing. But the feel as a performer is vastly different between like a club and a theater and an open mic. And
well, what's funny is what they see on television is usually it's like a Just for Laughs gala, which is a giant theater. Right. They're seeing giant theater on television. And the thing about doing comedy in a giant theater is there's sort of like this de facto fourth wall where nobody is allowed to talk to you. And you don't have to talk to the audience. Like there's just, it's so big.
You're like
even if
4
they
or
were
5
talking,
feet above their head.
Right. And even if they did talk to you, it's so big that you're not going to hear it. So there's this fourth wall. And so they see that and they're like, that's what I want to see live. And then they go to the club and it's a totally different environment because it's more intimate.
There's no fourth wall.
And it's more run and gun, less scripted, less sort of like visual act outs,
and just controlling the chaos.
You're really wrangling the audience a lot of the time, which they're not doing on television. So that's why I think, and and that's why I don't know.
Well, and you can even hear like in comedy specials, like comedy albums, not like TV specials, but comedy albums, like some people record them in comedy clubs, and some people record them in theaters as part of the special, and you can hear the difference in the style of comedy
chatty
and
chaos.
And it probably has to do with the type of comic that they are, and which environment they thrive in, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and they see on TV them walking out on stage to uproarious applause. When you don't realize that like a comedy show has to like start. From nothing.
Yes.
That's always the worst.
Well, and
starting an engine.
At a comedy club, there isn't like a director waving his hand to get the crowd to start cheering.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no stage manager or whatever.
Yeah, I guess that would be the person. The director should probably be behind the camera or something. Or behind some.
A club comedian would have to be like a club comedian has to be the director, the host, the bouncer sometimes, the
usher,
everything. Yeah. So, and at the same time, keep it light and keep it fun.
Because a lot. That's the other difference between comedy clubs and like the theater shows and that kind of thing. Often is people go to a comedy club just to go see comedy. Like they don't know what they're seeing. They might not even really like comedy. They're just going for a night out and it's a thing to do. They
they know the club brand.
Exactly. And so they'll go down there with their friends or that kind of thing. Whereas usually in a theater setting, whether it's a special or even just like the galas for the Winnipeg Comedy Fest, people know a little bit more about what they're getting into. They know the comics. They're like going, I'm going to this gala because this person's on it.
The names are on the ticket.
Exactly.
So they're more ready to be on board with what you're putting out.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're invested in that.
Yeah.
And then the comedy clubs, you get a mix of people who, are maybe some comedy nerds. Maybe some people who have never once seen live comedy. Some people who identify as non-comedy fans.
Like specifically.
People who are there just to support a friend. People that are there because they had a shitty day at work. People there because they got free tickets. People that are there because
fundraiser.
Fundraiser,
that's right.
Or whatnot. It's just like it's such a mixed
or
bag.
the worst that I've had so many people tell me is like the bachelor or bachelorette parties.
I love bachelor. Rumors makes a point of marketing directly to bachelor and bachelorettes, and I've never seen a bachelor party there. I've seen a billion bachelorettes, and they are all lovely. But the funny thing is like all the headlining comics come through and they are oftentimes weary of the bachelorettes, and they comment on like, you guys cater to bachelorettes? Are you nuts? Because I guess their experience is something
way different,
like Las Vegas or something. Like
I don't know what it is. I wonder if it's a Winnipeg thing, but the bachelorettes that I've been involved with, they all love it. I talk to them. They love it when I talk to them, but then they don't make it about them after I'm done with them.
For the most
part. For the most part.
Yeah.
That's a great thing to do if you're in a bachelorette party and you don't necessarily like your other bachelorettes, because you don't have to talk to each other.
You got
an hour and a half of reprieve.
All right, everybody, shut up and look forward.
But speaking of like toolkits or the tools you want to sharpen in your kit, that's one that I would like to sharpen over the next little while. I feel like I could do really well in a small room, and I can do pretty well in a theater setting, but in the club setting, I haven't felt very comfortable.
I feel like you've got a very unique style that's very in the moment and feeds on the energy in the room. It's a lot like Mark Forward in some sense, I feel.
Right.
And Mark Forward has figured out how to do that. So I think it's there for you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think I could. Like I did the Yuck Yucks in Vancouver.
Yeah.
And that was like, I've never had so much fun in a club. Yeah? I got to do 10 minutes and it was just comfortable, and I got exactly what I wanted out of every time.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. And they were on board for it. And I riffed a little bit and it didn't kill me. And so I think even feeding off of that moment, I can kind of figure out some things I did differently and how I would play that out in different clubs. So
Now, was this your most recent Vancouver trip that you went and did?
Yeah,
Yak Yaks?
we did the Just for Laughs Northwest.
Yeah, so I'm going to use this as a beautiful transition into
Sure.
starting to talk about Hunks.
Yeah,
because I want to get to Hunks because that's your sketch comedy troupe.
Yeah.
Been around for almost 3 years.
No,
Not even
2 and a
2
bit.
years.
Just 2 and a bit.
2 and a bit.
2 in April.
Oh, so it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
even.
So it's like
So it's
2.
like 2 now.
Yeah.
And you guys are already killing it. Like you've had two successful Fringe runs for Winnipeg Fringe Festival runs. You've put on a bunch of local shows, and now you've done quite a few out of province festivals, out of country festivals.
Yeah.
Yep.
So can you talk a little bit about just the growth of Hunks and writing together and that sort of thing?
It started as a lump on my back. And then radioactive. No, I'm just kidding.
Is this lump a sketch comedy troupe?
Let's just see where this is going.
He's dying. No, it kind of bits of it rose out of the ashes of Week Thus Far.
Yeah,
the TV show we were talking about before. Because as that was coming to a close, it was actually April 3 years ago that. No, it was our final show was in February or December of 2013.
Your final show was in a month, in a year.
2015. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm not good with dates.
Wait, 2015. So it was
December 2015, we did our big final show at the Park Theater.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Our last taping.
Yeah. Which was just a year and a bit ago?
Yeah, and it should be online any day now.
Right, because you had a break.
Yeah.
Like you hadn't done the TV thing.
Yeah.
And then you did a big final show at the Park Theater. Or was there?
No, I think we wrapped up the last episode of that season at the Park Theater, and we were doing episodes up until that was like the 7th season, I believe.
I don't know. I was not involved with the show.
Right.
So that was that was just a year and a little bit ago?
2 and a bit years.
So 2014.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
December 2015 to December 2016, December 20.
No, but we're not there yet. We're far from December 2017 right now. So that's why I was just trying to figure out the time. It was before Hunks.
That's right.
Started.
Right.
Okay, so it'd be 2014.
That's right.
That's why I was confused with the timing. So for the last minute and a half, people have just been hearing us recite a bunch of random dates.
Like they've just their eyes have gone blank, their nose is starting to bleed. They're like crashing into the ditch.
Is this lost? Are we in the present? Are we flashing back? Are we flashing forward? What's happening?
What is in the hatch? So
2.5 years ago.
That's right.
You ended Week Thus Far.
Yeah. And it wasn't like, okay, Week Thus Far is done. Now we're gonna do Hunks. It was just Dana and myself and Rory. We were on that last season of Week Thus Far. We still wanted to do sketch and stuff like that. I think Rory and Quinn and Dana were kind of talking about some stuff, and anyways, we just kind of assembled the team and started meeting and talking about what we wanted. Like right out of the gate, our first few meetings were talking about like what we want to do, big picture kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then we set some goals for ourselves, and we achieved every last one of them.
Yeah,
like against all freaking odds.
Yeah.
A lot of people said we couldn't do it.
Yeah.
A lot of haters out there.
Yep.
You know who you are, Mom.
She's just trying to keep you honest, Tim.
Yeah.
She's trying to keep you honest.
I know you're listening, Mom. A fun mom story. So when I was recording my album, it was November 26th, and I was like, you guys, this is like the biggest thing I've ever done. I'd love it if you could be there. There was like a beat. My mom was like, oh shoot. Oh, she's like, well, Steve Bell's doing a concert that night. Like Christian singer-songwriter.
Hey, Juno winning.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
Yeah, that's legend status. Anyways, that hurt a lot.
Were they there?
They did come out. Yeah.
No, I meant at Steve. Okay, they went in.
Steve, yeah. So, anyways, yeah, that was like the initial kind of meetings with Hunks, and
but yeah, like within that first, like if you started in April, you did a Winnipeg Fringe Fest show.
Yeah.
That year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In July.
Yeah.
And the Fringe Festival, I mean, yeah, there's lots of local troops and that, but it's also the second or third, depending on what numbers you go by, biggest Fringe in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like Winnipeg and Edmonton are kind of neck and neck, and then obviously they all bow down to Edinburgh. But it's a big deal, and you guys got a 5-star review.
Yeah,
for your first show a few months after you started. Like that must have been a good boost of self-confidence for what you guys were doing.
Yeah. I had done, I think, 7 Fringe shows before that, and I had gotten a 4-star review, I think, the year before, but never a 5, man.
Yeah.
Our first fucking one.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, that felt pretty good.
Yeah, the Blackouts show.
Yeah, the Blackout show. Yeah, we look at that show now. We have video footage of it, and it's just so much black space in between our sketches. And then it's like 45 seconds of darkness with music. What are we doing? It's unbelievable.
But you have video of that.
Yeah.
And I imagine like because as stand-up comics, you often record your sets to try and like listen and hear, okay, that joke could be moved here, or that line that might sound a little better. And so by being able to watch that, you could see, okay, this isn't working, and now you are masters of, in my opinion, flowing sketches together, whether it's through video pieces or just like transitioning them on stage together. There's no dead time in between your sketches.
Yeah, I think that's important, and thank you for saying that. But really, I think the catalyst was that was the year that we met our friends Hip Bang from Vancouver, Tom Hill and Devin McKenzie, and they're the ones I think that pointed it out to us, like, you got to get rid of these blackouts. And then that's when we looked at the video and like, they are right. Oh boy. Yeah.
They were like our big brothers of sketch comedy.
Yeah, they've really helped us out a lot. Like, big shout out to Hip Bang. If there's anybody out there that is thinking, should I go see Hip Bang? Should I not? Let me tell you, you should. They're amazing.
Definitely.
And just sweet guys, really helped us out a lot.
Big time,
Yeah. I remember they did like a conference call with us when they were on the road. I think they were in a car driving.
That's right.
And they just did a conference call with us to answer just general questions that we had about
festivals or sketch comedy.
Doing sketch comedy.
Yeah. They were like on the road.
Yep.
Talking about a grand salami, I remember.
As one does.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. They've opened a lot of doors for us. Like, we started getting into this. We had talked about JFL Northwest, and we wouldn't have done that festival if it wasn't for them.
Yeah.
They hooked that up big time. So yeah, they've been sweethearts.
Yeah, over the last, I mean, you in that first year you did a couple festivals, but over the last year especially, you guys have done some pretty big festivals. From JFL Northwest being huge. You did Toronto Sketch Fest this year. San Francisco Sketch Fest, Chicago Sketch Fest. Last year you did Montreal, right?
Yeah, Montreal. We did Vancouver Sketch Festival.
Oh, right, the Vancouver Sketch Festival.
And Seattle.
And Seattle, like,
and Edmonton and Proviganza.
That's right. Like, you guys have done a lot in the last
and Woodstock
year and a bit.
69.
We
did that.
Yeah, that's right.
Last year.
Yeah, well, some of us. But
Matt's really bitter about not being.
Matt can't time travel.
I can only go back to the like 84.
He can time travel, but just to a certain point.
It's a hassle. I only have a 6-cylinder time machine.
Well, and it's just more so when everyone else in the group can go further back, then it's just right. Like, if you all could go to the same point, then it'd be fine. You deal with it, you'd make it work. But
so that's been the hardest part, probably. It's like, getting those timelines to work.
Totally.
So I'm Matt Nightingale.
Oh no,
and I'm Tim Gray's dad.
Hello, Mr. Gray. How was Steve Bell?
Funnier than Tim.
Dad.
You know who you are.
You're Tyler Petter's dad.
Oh, yeah?
But yeah, so how have the festivals been different? Because I mean, some are sketch focused, of course, and some are these broader comedy festivals.
Yeah.
Some are bigger, some are smaller. So I mean, it's hard to compare them all. But like, how just from your guys' perspective of growing, like, because you're still growing as a sketch troupe, like, have you learned a lot at the various festivals, and has that helped you?
Yeah, big time. One of the weird things about starting sketch in Winnipeg is that we got to debut in a huge theater with 250 seat theater.
Yeah.
And I think we probably had maybe 120, 150 people show up to our very first ever show.
Yeah.
So we did like 3 of those shows at the Park Theater, and then we did our Fringe run. So we were just used to doing this huge theater production.
Yeah.
And then we went to
1-hour shows in 3 months.
And then we went to
like with brand new material.
Yeah. And then we went to the Montreal Sketch Festival, and that was our first experience with little room, tiny stage.
Yeah.
Like most sketch groups would have started doing like 2 sketches on a showcase show in front of like 20 other sketch comedians.
Yeah.
Sort of like a stand-up open mic.
Yeah.
But Winnipeg's just this weird anomaly.
Yeah.
So we had to sort of like learn backwards, like Benjamin Button style.
Yeah.
And so we kind of had to figure out how to travel with our show and how to deal with smaller stages and different stage. Less costumes, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, we learned a ton.
And did that sort of thing, because once you start to do that, you also still want to be able to keep the ability to do these big theater shows, not just for Fringe, but there are other opportunities to do these bigger shows, and you don't want to lose that at the same time.
Right.
Yeah. So we still book. We still have like a couple per year shows booked at the Park Theater.
Yeah.
We're trying to do like I think 1 or 2-ish. It's not really set in stone, but so those would be like our big showcase, like end of year shows. You know, I'd like to keep doing the December shows. Those are fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, Montreal was one of our biggest like wake up moments.
Totally.
Because it was a great festival, and it's run so well, and the people that run it, I couldn't say enough nice things about. Our show was an early show on the Friday night, and you know they were kind of worried about it to begin with because Montreal is very much we don't go out before it gets dark kind of city. It seems so. We didn't have a big crowd. It was the smallest crowd we've ever played to.
Yeah.
And in the smallest space we've ever played on. And it just kind of like shook us like, okay, you guys, you can't come out like in this big, skin tight bee costume and there's like 12 people there scattered amongst this stage. And so figuring ways of making it work.
Yeah. But then we thought about it and started trying to figure that out, and then we started staging a showcase for sketch comedy in Winnipeg called Skid or Die that happens at Wee Johnny's, which is a smaller room, small stage.
And it seats like 40 to 50-ish depending on how the seats are configured.
Usually we set up like 30 seats.
Okay,
for a smaller show, we could pack in about 60.
And a big reason that show started was because we wanted to get better in a small environment with smaller audiences and be sort of like when we were talking about the stand-up in the theater, you have that fourth wall. There's no interaction between when in a smaller, it's the same with the sketch in the smaller venue. You kind of do want to connect personally in an intimate setting. So so we wanted to get better at that. And then it's just like a place where other sketch groups can start like cutting their teeth in that sort of environment.
Yeah. Well, because you
go to Montreal to learn about it.
Well, that's the thing. Like you mentioned earlier that like Winnipeg was an anomaly in that there weren't like showcases and stuff. There used to be a few years ago with Comedy Loser and stuff. You could potentially, but that was solo. You could work on characters at least, and there have been moments for that. But for the most part, if you weren't doing, there were places to do improv. And there are places to do open mic stand up and work on that. But for sketch, like you were doing the Fringe Festival. And that kind of thing, you know, like, we're going to, you know, go into this big festival where, you know, there might be 100 or 200 people coming out.
Once a year.
Yeah, exactly. So you doing those Wee Johnny shows, you've given other sketch troupes in Winnipeg that have wanted to start or have been around for a little while. You've given them an opportunity to come in and, again, work on like 1 or 2 sketches, 3 sketches a month. And then put that together so that they can go and eventually do bigger shows themselves and that kind of thing. So
totally,
which is really cool because I think Winnipeg. I mean, it's a small city, but it has a long history of comedy. But usually, mostly on the stand up and improv sides.
Right.
So sketch. I mean, there's been some great sketch troupes over the years. Like years ago, Royal Lichtenstein. And then the Hot Thespian Action have been around for a number of years. But that's pretty much it. Notwithstanding, I'm sure I'm missing a couple.
There's the
groups.
The Guess Who.
The Guess Who were great sketch comics.
Yes.
American Woman.
Yeah.
That was their
love that sketch.
biggest sketch.
And Bucko was around.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but they
Vancouver
were like living in Toronto, Vancouver, and that kind of thing. And so they came back to Winnipeg. About 4 or 5 years ago, I think. Like more on a more permanent basis. And that's now. But now they have opportunities to do more regular stuff. And Steve and Katie and all these other new groups that are coming out.
President Bear, Free Snacks, Glenn Murray Experience.
And hopefully more and more. Exactly. Which is cool because like I think any scene needs that to really like they need the opportunity for people to develop stuff.
Totally.
Need the opportunity for them to fail. Just like with stand up. I mean that's why open mics are so important. You need to bomb to know what not to do or how to work,
get some F's so you can get some A's.
That's important for sketch.
It definitely is.
And I mean, and not to undersell the fact that it is kind of cool that Winnipeg does have this big Fringe Festival where all of these groups can have the opportunity once a year to perform in front of big crowds.
Make some
which
money.
most cities don't have. And to make money, which most cities don't have an opportunity for.
Like the average Fringe performer makes about $30,000 to $40,000 in that 2 weeks.
Which is crazy. Like that, and that's averaging out like most of the groups have like 5 to 10 people per person.
Per person.
So when you consider how many people are in HUNKS,
that's a lot of money.
It's okay.
It's gonna be okay.
It's all right.
Okay. I mean, you and I have a different.
Not gonna kick it out of bed, but it's not gonna fix my helicopter.
Can I get a lift home? By the way, I drank too much champagne to fly my helicopter.
Of course, man.
Thanks, man.
Well, we'll just hitch your helicopter to my helicopter.
Oh, okay.
Is that a?
Yeah, you think that could work, right?
Well, we can afford to try.
Yeah. And you miss 100% of the helicopters.
You don't drag down Portage in Maine. Yes. I like the way you think.
For those listening outside of Winnipeg, Portage in Maine is a famous area.
Oh, yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people outside of Winnipeg listen. There are people. There are lots of people. We got visitors from
Winnipeg,
all over.
aka the Windy City.
AKA
the Big Apple,
the River City, AKA
River City.
You can't throw in a real one.
AKA the Forks,
AKA
AKA home of Steve Bell.
Legendary Steve Bell, Juno Award winner.
Yeah.
Well, just a quick congratulations to anyone that's listening that has a Juno. It's great.
Yeah.
So that's probably...
And even more congratulations if you tried.
Yeah. You missed 100% of the Junos.
Junos you don't try for. That's not true. I feel like there are...
there are people who did not...
Who are like, I'm just a small engine repair guy. What is this for? Juno. No.
Take it back.
I take that one.
No,
back.
but best adult alternative.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I don't know. You know what's weird? Why don't they have comedy album awards at the Junos?
That's actually a
Like,
legit.
they have them at the Grammys, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They do.
Yeah, you can win album of the year, like spoken word kind of thing.
Well, no, they have an actual comedy category.
A comedy category.
Yeah,
and there's lots of great Canadian comedy albums that were released this past year. Like,
absolutely
stupid that they,
Let's petition the Junos.
Yeah,
if you're listening, Junos.
Yeah.
Which I know you are.
Of course they are. Everyone's listening to the Junos.
Yes. No, the Junos is listening to everyone.
Us. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Nobody listens to the Junos.
We're recording this, I think, on Juno Day. I think the Junos are tonight.
Yeah, they are.
One time,
and none of us are going to watch them.
One time on Twitter, I logged on and I saw that the TV show Heartland had started following me, and then I clicked on Heartland, and it was like, those guys who will friend you, and they have like 720,000 followers, but they're following 720,000 people.
Yeah.
Same with Heartland.
Really?
Yeah. Heartland is just trying to drag the bottom of the ocean.
Follow as many people to get follow backs.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Maybe I should do that.
That's like the
Junos. It worked for Heartland. It got them.
Did it? They didn't get my follow back.
They got a Juno though.
Did they?
I don't know.
I'm sure they've won some Canadian Screen Awards.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
I mean, there aren't a lot of shows.
No,
really.
That's true.
Yeah.
Heartland. I'd really hate to be Heartland right now.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're laying into them.
Yeah.
Yeah, more like Fartland.
We're not afraid to.
Heartland has nothing but good things to say about us.
I know they are tweeting constantly about hunks and Showbiz Monkeys. Weirdly, I don't know why they support a website, but they do.
They do.
Oh no, am I getting you in trouble?
No, I don't. I don't support I had this. I was listening back years ago when I interviewed Lonely Island. 7-8 years ago.
Right.
Half of the interview is basically determining if websites can have fans.
Really?
The Showbiz Monkeys have fans.
Yeah.
And they determine that if they're on the site, they're a visitor.
Yep.
And then when they're off the site but thinking about it,
they're a fan.
They're a fan.
Yeah, okay.
But when they're on the site, they're definitely not a fan. Right. They can't be a fan when they're on the site. They hate it.
Okay, that
they
makes sense.
hate it when they're on it.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
So Heartland, when they're talking about us on Twitter all the time, which they do, I think daily.
They don't shut up.
They are super fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But then when they come to the site,
haters,
but visitors. I mean,
Hateland, we
like
should
visitors.
call it.
Yeah, Hateland. We should do a spin-off called Hateland, which is just fucking trash in Heartland. They should put that horse down. Anyways,
They got the first episode, right?
Yeah.
They'll be very short. Very short.
Yeah.
More like audio vines.
Yeah,
Like
right.
6 seconds.
Yeah.
Can loop them.
Yeah.
That should be a thing.
What is this? Heartland? Nope. And then,
There we go. Episode 2.
Yeah.
Done. Let's just get through a season right now.
Yeah.
No, we don't need to. So, I just want one more thing with hunks is you mentioned right at the very beginning when we were talking about it that within a short period of time you'd kind of accomplished all the goals you set out for yourselves.
Right.
Now that you've played all these really cool festivals like Just for Laughs Northwest, I mean legendary San Francisco Sketch Fest, Chicago Sketch Fest. These are big festivals in North America for sketch comedy. What are your next goals as a sketch comedy troupe?
We laid some of them out recently. We're working on developing some web series and online video content,
which is big right now.
Yeah. Ultimately, we'd like to have a TV show.
Okay.
We would also talk about doing more live podcasts and more live skit or die shows
and you've done I should mention that you guys do have a great podcast, HUNKS podcast, and you've done a few live versions of that so far. That are very fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. We just did one with Jane Testar from Hot Thespian Action and Outside Joke.
Yeah. She was very funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a great app. Great app. And then we're doing another one with Efi, who's on CBC Radio on the 15th of April. Anyways, but so that's kind of the goal.
Yeah,
those
do
are some of the
more of
goals.
that stuff.
There's other stuff.
Grow
too, but
the
it's top
podcast,
secret.
grow the
and
with TV. Well, all that web stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other thing I've noticed with Winnipeg comedy is a lot of people their mindset stays local.
Yeah.
Right.
And it doesn't need to. Like, we're in the internet age.
Yes.
Where you can, reach an audience anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's, I think that's a good goal for you guys, is you can still do stuff here.
Yeah.
But putting out online content, you can.
And tour as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're
East
hoping
Coast,
to
West
get
Coast.
out on the road again.
Yeah.
Sometime late in the year, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And that would that be more like your own, like you'd be planning a
booking
tour
your
rather
own.
than like relying on festival dates and things
Exactly.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good next step. Like you mentioned Hip Bang before, they've done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, another little group, Kids in the Hall, they've done that.
Yes.
Sketch
Right.
troupe.
Yes. They certainly have.
Yeah. And we're doing the Edmonton Fringe Festival this year as well.
Oh, that's right.
For the
Yeah.
first
Yes.
So that'll be big.
A massive festival.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll be in Winnipeg Fringe Festival as well in Edmonton. We're going to have live podcasts as well in the Winnipeg Fest.
Oh, that's right. Have you started talking about that, promoting that yet? I don't know. I didn't want to
A little
bring it up
bit, just
'cause I don't know
talking
if you're-
about it. Yeah.
But now
is going
people
to
are
be a
gonna hear it.
BYOV, and every night, 10:30 p.m., we're going to be doing a live podcast taping there, and then there's going to be some other shows at Wee Johnny's as well. Graham Clark from British Columbia is going to be doing his one-man show there. JD's going to be doing his one-man show there, and then we're going to have a couple secret shows.
Ooh.
That I'm not at liberty to talk about, but 7-Eleven will be involved.
But I like
Sorry,
the idea.
9/11.
That's way less delicious.
Yeah.
Hardier though.
Yes.
Yeah,
Certainly.
it's got more
hardier.
heartland.
Yeah. But I like the idea. I really like the idea of live podcasts at a Fringe festival. I don't know if other Fringes have done it, but I've never seen that done at the Winnipeg Fringe.
Yeah.
And it seems like a perfect opportunity for that. It's a, nightly show, the Fringe, you can try new things out. There are a lot of, sketch comedy and improv that happens.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people are open to a different show every night for certain things. And why not record it?
Yeah.
And put it out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you'd like people to know, or are you just your coffee's done?
I'd like everyone to know my coffee's done.
So you're probably getting tired.
Yeah. Yeah. Once I finish my coffee, I get so tired. Just gonna lay down.
Coffee only works when you're drinking it, right?
Yeah,
like the
exactly.
caffeine, like while you're consuming it, it works, and then as soon as you're done,
you just body starts to shut down, organs start to fail. Anything else?
I don't like people to know very much about me, so
yeah,
I've already said too much.
Great interview subject. I don't want anyone to really know anything about me. You share that with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh yeah,
Jake Gyllenhaal does he does interviews. He does not like to talk about himself.
Oh, really?
He'll talk about like the role, and he'll talk about the movie or the thing.
Interesting.
But
Yeah,
that's it. He does
Did
not
you ever
like
ask
it.
him like what his favorite part about his body is?
Well, I've never met Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, okay.
I've just heard that he had this thing. Do you?
Ask him that.
Okay.
Okay,
can you do
Paul.
that for me, Paul?
Paul.
Can you ask Jake Gyllenhaal what his favorite body part is?
I'll make a call
Okay, thank
to
you.
Gyllenhaal.
And we'll wait.
Oh yeah, right now you want? Okay, I'll make the call right now. I'm not gonna do that for you, Tim. I don't.
I guess the only other thing I want to plug
Like
really
or
quickly
respect
is a comedy album will be released June 16th of this year. If you're in Winnipeg, there's going to be a show at Wee Johnny's to release it.
Yeah.
And then it'll be on iTunes and available through Zellers.biz.
Your website.
Yeah, there's 2 Zs, one in Zellers, one in Biz.
I'm also going to be in Winnipeg on June 16th, so just watch out for me.
ShowbizMonkeys.com.
I'll put my clothes on extra tight.
Yeah. Just to see.
Secure him down. Jazz Fest is in town.
Yeah, that's why I'm always
Watch
dancing
out.
naked at Jazz Fest.
Never a good week for Tim Gray.
Yeah, it's not. You didn't start that way.
Yeah.
Just trying to go to the bank.
I gotta handcuff myself to a radiator.